There are so many different Doom mods, man. You got levels, ones that change gameplay, random ones that change your HUD. So many. Trust me, I would know. You've been around Doom mods for so long, you end up having your favorites, the ones you turn on all the time. Of course, there's nothing wrong with vanilla Doom, but sometimes you want to spice it up a little. Well, let me tell you about the mod that does that. A mod that has had a ton of work put into it. Replayability, it's complex, it's cool. I'd say it's my favorite gameplay mod for Doom. So let's talk about it. And no man, it's not Brutal Doom. God. Doom Roguelike Arsenal. Hey, I haven't given up on the Forgotten Doom mod series, I swear. Mods are either hard to show off because it's multiplayer, I can't actually find the mods like Jurassic Rift, dear god I can't believe that didn't get backed up, or mods I vaguely remember but don't have the name. Like there's this one, like it was like a deathmatch where you could play as the monsters. I thought it had Sentinel in the name. I remember seeing a video about it. It's not Hell vs Marines, don't say that. There's another one called Sniper Run or something, where you had to run from people sniping you on top of a wall. Regardless, we're here to talk about DRLA, Doom Roguelike Arsenal, the best gameplay mod for Doom. I probably wouldn't have made a video on this, but like, nobody else has, from what I saw, which is really strange to me. I feel like this is a pretty popular mod. Anyways, Doom Roguelike Arsenal is based off the fan-made roguelike for Doom Roguelike. They play completely differently. It's more like it took ideas from it. But yes, a roguelike mod. I love roguelike games, so stuff like this is very much down my alley. So how does it work? On the basics, DRLA adds a ton of different weapons and armors to a map, all completely randomized. Like maybe instead of finding a normal shotgun, you'll find the combat shotgun or an assault shotgun with different rarities and all that. And it adds more RPG-like elements in terms of armor resisting certain elements and attack, and having armor sets. But first things first, you have to choose a class. Yeah, there are different characters that change gameplay up drastically. But a good way to separate them is what kind of weapon you like using. Marine if you like auto-firing weapons like plasma rifles or chain guns. Renegade if you like shotguns. Scout if you like pistols. Demolitionist if you're about the explosives, we don't talk about commando, and technician if you like, well, we'll get to that. The way these characters are more proficient with these kinds of weapons is interesting too. The Marine only uses ammo every 3 shots with automatic weapons, so he can fire longer without reloading. Renegade shotguns shoot more pellets. Demolitionist is immune to explosives. But they have more perks than that, like Scout is faster, which kind of works some maps. Renegade's armor protects you better, and he can instantly switch weapons. It's interesting how these characters make you look at the game differently. Like getting the assault shotgun is whatever for most classes, but for Renegade it's awesome. As the Scout, you won't give a dick for the minigun because chain guns take your pistol ammo, but when you get the combat pistol, that's an epic gamer moment, guys. You get the combat pistol with another class, you trash it. I know what you're thinking, Scout using pistols? Are you kidding me? Pistols suck. Wrong. Scout probably has the highest damage of any class. His pistols can do up to 8 times damage and has no spread. He's my second favorite class. Who's my first? Technician. Items will be randomly placed on the map. One kind of item you'll see are phase devices, which let you teleport to other players or set teleport points to go back to. I like putting these by a door to reduce backtracking, but it kind of ruins monster closets when you grab a key. So, I kind of just forget them anyways. But more importantly, you'll find these TV things known as mods. This is where things become godlike. Also, yeah, these can be changed in the setting for colorblind people too. I appreciate that a lot. All weapons can hold mods, and each mod changes the stats of every weapon. You can adjust hit scan spread, damage, ammo capacity, reload time, Weapons can only hold a certain amount based off their rarities, and it arguably makes common weapons more versatile than the rarer ones. And it really lets you mess around with the weapons how you'd like to. Maybe you want to increase the weapon's damage so you don't use up ammo. Maybe you want to make the reload time faster. Look at the super shotgun with max reload speed. It's cool that it lets you play how you want, and the technician can hold twice as many mod packs as other characters. So what's his gimmick? Well, you see, you can kinda craft weapons in this. Let me explain. By combining specific combinations of mods to a weapon, you can change the weapon into something else. Got a standard pistol? Give it a silencer. Make it shoot plasma, explosives, shotgun shells. There are an insane amount of different combinations for every weapon. Look at this one, the Shredder Shotgun. It's extremely simple to make, and it turns your super shotgun into a weapon with 3 different firing modes. And even after you make a combined weapon, you can still add mods to it to change its stats. So the technician deals more damage with these combined weapons, which means he can deal a ton of damage with any kind of weapon. I love making the grenade launcher and going to town. He's very versatile in that regard. He can also trash rarer weapons into mod packs, so he has access to one of my favorite aspects of DRLA more than any other character. I love playing him online with others because yes, GC Doom has online, and creating weapons and throwing them out. That's another thing, you can toss weapons out because you can only hold a limit of 6 weapons. I know a lot of people are iffy on inventory management, but I think it's very helpful here. I mean, Doom only had around 7 weapons anyways that were worth using. I just like when mods expect me to hold like a billion different weapons. I feel versatile enough with 6, and it keeps this mod feeling vanilla enough. Another cool thing about these crafted weapons is that other classes can benefit from them. Scout can't just be logging around 6 pistols that all use the same ammo, but when you make your pistol a plasma pistol that uses cell ammo, it still gives him the buff. He can also get the buff when you make a shotgun pistol, but guess what, so does Renegade, who's good with shotguns. God, I love DRLA, and it can still be enjoyed even without knowing about all this crafting stuff. You probably won't for a while because you have to discover these yourself. It's like a roguelike, you have to keep replaying to learn how it works. And when you do, it will be recorded into your PDA. Your PDA is the information HUD. It tells you everything, detailed info on gun stats, what mods do to the gun, if the class benefits from the gun, along with armor resistances. Oh yeah, the armor. Armors come in many varieties. When you equip one, your stats will change. Maybe you'll equip armor that's good against hit scanners, but you'll get destroyed by fire attacks. Some armor can't be removed, and some have special armor effects, like being able to use a shockwave, heal yourself at the cost of armor durability, or set down a turret. Boots are also a factor, and while they don't have as big as an effect as armor, there are armor sets that boots can be matched with, which cause additional effects. And all this is just luck being thrown at you in your standard Doom gameplay, yet it has the depth of a roguelike. As complicated as this all sounds, I don't think it's that hard to get a hold of, and all these modding and crafting things don't slow the gameplay down as much as something like an RPG mod would. I can say this plays similarly enough to vanilla Doom. Like, I still feel like I'm playing normal Doom. Yeah, with some of the crafted weapons, the difficulty balance can kind of falter, but this isn't an overpowered mod. Yet this mod still has hundreds of weapons. More weapons than any other Doom mod. Yeah, even more than something like Eons of Death. And the weapons themselves can still be customized. I haven't mentioned this yet, but the rarity system comes like this: common, exotic, unique, legendary, demonic. I guess here's kind of my only problem with the mod. Anything above exotic is like really rare. Like once a megawatt you'll find a unique weapon. And I'd say a good amount of these weapons are uniques, legendaries, etc. These are arguably the coolest weapons too, and you'll rarely see them. Furthermore, putting certain mods on these weapons actually change how they function, which is so crazy specific of a situation to even occur with this luck. This goes for unique armors as well. It makes getting these rare things great, but man is it so unlikely. So the cool thing about this being a weapons mod is that you can play with any monster mods you want. So go crazy with stuff like Color for Hell, or just play through vanilla. But there's also a partner mod with DRLA known as DRLM, Doom Roguelike Monsters. Yeah, there's more. This mod comes with several difficulties that change and affect the enemies you see. There are a pretty massive amount of enemies overall, coming in with their own rarities too. Because this mod was made with DRLA in mind, there's some cool compatibility things with it. After encountering a new enemy, you can view them in the PDA. You can see their stats, their weaknesses, even their drop rate. Because yeah, you can get cool drops from these enemies. Keep playing and you may even encounter some, well, interesting enemies. Play through it yourself. There's a lot of secrets I've been hiding in general for you to experience on your own. So what do we get all in all? We get a mod that gives you an ever-changing experience every time you load up a map pack. One that isn't totally wacky and crazy to the point where it breaks a lot of the design and developer intention of the person who made the map. That's important. I would always say to play a map pack vanilla first, then go through with mods. But if you were to tell me use DRLA on a first time playthrough, well, I can't hate that. And I really do think this is the mod for everyone. You can go all super complicated in crafto mode with the technician if you want, or you can just pick the renegade and play around with the various weapons. Pick some mods up and throw them on your weapon without a second thought. What really set me off to do this video, besides the fact that I have not seen a proper video on this mod, is when I heard someone say that Brutal Doom is the most ambitious and impressive mod ever made with a ton of work. And if we're talking mods in general for games, well then you're crazy. But if we're talking Doom mods, you may have a case. I'm not touching Brutal Doom, guys. Maybe at 100k subs or something you'll get a rant and a serious review, but yeah, no thanks. But it made me realize how many other small projects that have had so much time put into them often get overlooked, and that's just for the Doom community. You know how many dudes I've heard go, "Oh yeah man, let's boot up that Doom mod, Brutal Doom, yeah!" Then play it and don't touch Doom ever again. And then have the holy chutzpah to say it's the most ambitious game mod ever, let alone for Doom, when things like this, Ashes, Blade of Agony, Adventures of Square, Memoir of Magic, yeah, you can argue they don't count as Doom mod, but rather full games. But how about Elementalism, Stronghold, Skull Dash, Whodunit, Shadow of Woolbar, Deal God, Golden Souls? How about everything mod creators like Terminus East, Doomero, Pillow Blast, Captain J, Keegan, and Kate Fox, Cutman Mike, Ribic, Skillsoft made? Absolutely bugging. Anyways, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Doom mods. Go deep on these Doom mods and you'll find a huge pile of incredible and fun mods. But yeah, Doom Roguelike Arsenal is amazing. Get some friends on it too if you can understand how GZ Doom Online works. It can make for a fun and interesting playthrough. A very good way to revisit a map pack you've already beaten. So, what's next? Well, besides my Monolith review, which will come whenever I beat the game on stream, because hey, I do stream, there's a game made in the Doom engine I wish to talk about. I was actually planning on doing a whole video on games made in the Doom engine, but it's kind of difficult to parse what counts as a Doom mod, and what's a game made in the Doom engine, right? Maybe I'll get to it when I'm done reviewing a bunch of them, like a collective video. However, there's one that I've been meaning to do since last year, that I tried to do earlier this year and gave up on. One I really want to talk about. That's that for that. I'll see you guys another day, someday.